Hey guys, I'm getting ready to start a project here today. We're going to change the sway bar links on my son's, it's a 2011 Chevy Equinox. And I just want to I thought I'd take you through and show you the process of changing these. And when we're done, I'll show you kind of the prices, the price that I was quoted to do this, and the price I was able to do it for, and how I was able to, in my mind, actually get some free tools out of the deal. So I'll try to get the camera set up for you here so you can follow the process. Alright, so first step, we're going to get the wheel loosened up. I'm using an impact. You could just use a breaker bar and a 22mm socket. I've got a jack, a little bit of weight off the car, and I do have a jack stand back here too for just safety precautions. And yes, if anybody notices, this is not an impact socket, it's a standard socket, but I haven't broken it yet. Alright, so I'm going to get this jack stand set up under here. These little cars, I got some bigger jack stands, but I had this little baby one for these smaller cars. I trust my jack, but it's good to better be safe than sorry. Don't want any accidents. Alright, so here is the new sway bar link. Just want to double check, do kind of a quick check and make sure that looks like it's the right size and everything, and yep, looks like the right part. So basically we gotta remove it from down here from the from your sway bar, and then it attaches to the strut up here, and looks like we need to do, I'm going to grab a wire brush and clean this up a little bit. And I'm also, actually before I even do that, I'm going to hit a wire brush. We live on a gravel road, so everything is always caked in dust and mud. I did run this through the car wash yesterday to get it halfway clean, but there, get a little light on the situation. Alright, so I'm gonna hit it with a little PB blaster, just some penetrating oil. They don't look too bad, but hit it anyway. This is good stuff for if you've got something rusted that doesn't want to break free. Works great. Smells bad, but works good. Okay, so the way this works, this is actually pretty slick the way Chevy did this. So in order to get this, if you just try to take this nut loose, this bolt that it's mounted on at the top of that link pin is in, will spin. So they actually have an Allen key hole in the middle of that. It's a 6mm, I believe, which slips right in there. Actually, let me get a little leverage on it. So that Allen key just slips in there, and then let's see if I can hold the camera while I do this. Basically, I'm gonna hold the Allen while maybe it'll hit top of that strut. Yeah. So it allows you to take that off there. Oops, shoot, I slipped off the strut. I'll go ahead and I need 2 hands to do this, but you can see the point here. You hold the Allen so you can get this nut off the top. I'll be right back. Alright, before I loosen everything up here, grab the second jack. I want to take a little pressure off of this whole control arm weight hanging down here. So get underneath there somewhere. Just put a little bit of lift on it. I'm not sure that's really necessary, but can't hurt. So, all right, I've got this top nut mostly off of here. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the bottom one. So the bottom, the ratchet stuck on there. All right, 1 second. I need to grab something to pry that out of there. Okay, so the bottom is going to be a little trickier because I'm working blind, more or less. Go ahead and get that ratchet on there. See if I can find the hole for the Allen. Of course, there's rust and mud and gunk in there. I think I'm in there good enough, so. Alright, it's going to be a two-handed job here, so I'm going to put the camera down, but I'm going to get this back nut off now. Actually, I can do it with one hand because that Allen wrench bumps into that front axle there. Car's an all-wheel drive. Not near as much mud and gunk on that one. It can be a lot easier. I'm using these ratcheting socket or these ratcheting wrenches. I knew this is going to be a lifesaver. I just picked these up actually, just because I knew that this is the way these things are put together, and I wouldn't be able to get a regular socket on there, and I didn't want to have to such a short throw with a regular wrench. So that ratcheting box end wrench really came in handy there. All right, so the bottom is loose. I'm just going to finish taking the top off here, and I'll pop that off of there. Alright, just I didn't film that, but this was bound up. It was pulling tight in there, so I just took my second jack that I've got underneath this the front wheel here, this front control arm, and I just jacked it up a couple of inches, and as soon as I did that, that popped right loose, freed that up. So now I can finish taking that top nut off of there. Alright, I just thought I'd show you this here quick. So I'm trying to take this loose. This outside of this, the outside of that nut, the outer threads are real rusted, and I couldn't hold on to the Allen key by my bare hand. So I just gave a little leverage. I just grabbed the handle off my little floor jack, and then by using that, helps if I have the wrench in the right position for loosening instead of tightening. So anyway, now I've got some leverage on that thing. I don't know if I can do this with one hand or not. Oh, yeah, I can. Kind of shows you the beauty and convenience of these ratcheting wrenches. All right, I got to finish with two hands. Alright, so the link is out. There's the old one. There's the new one. Same fit up. This new one's actually, it looks like it's a little beefier. Oh, actually it's much heavier. There's a lot more steel in that new one. So this new one is a little bit different. So the one I took off from the factory, as I was showing you, you secure it with an Allen key. These new ones aren't like that. They actually have basically the bolt has a threaded, or basically looks like a nut on the back, which is actually part of that bolt. And I think that's also an 18mm. Yeah. So we'll get that up in there. We'll actually get a wrench on the back of it, and then can crank away on the front with just a regular socket. So I'll grab an 18mm socket, and we'll get it reinstalled. I need to jack up that front wheel a little bit. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get this nut started on the bottom. Get a wrench on the back. The 18mm here. trying to do this so you can see is not easy. Alright, so try to bring this to the top. As you can see, I can't quite get lined up. I'm just the length is just a little bit higher than that hole. So back to the jack. Let's raise that front sway bar up just a little bit. Bingo. Come on. Throw short extension on this. And once again, I need to get the back secured. Alright, I'm just going to finish tightening up the top and the bottom, and then I need to check if I can get a torque wrench back here. I think the torque specs on these are about 55 pounds. I think it's something silly like 57 on one of them, maybe the bottom, and 55 on the top, but I will double check that. But let me work on getting these snugged up, and then I'll get out the torque wrench. Okay, so I found an online resource. What I said is what I saw online. So it's saying to torque the tops to 55 and the bottom to 57, which I have no idea why. Seems a little crazy to me, but my cheapo torque wrench probably doesn't care about 2-pound increments, but we'll go ahead and stay on there. Yeah. Okay, obviously it was nowhere near tight when I grabbed the torque wrench, but that's okay. Now we're starting to snug up a little bit. There we go, 55 on top. The bottom might be a little interesting to get to, but it's all right. When there's a will, there's a way. All right, so I really should have a swivel on here, but I don't have a 1/2-inch swivel, so if I did, it would make this crazy angle down here in this bottom a lot easier. But I think I have just enough room. Yeah. I'll take a little back and forth, but I've got just enough room to get this one tightened up. so there you have it. Get that new link on there. Take pressure off of that. That drop back down. Now all I have to do is put the wheel back on, flip around and do the other side. And hopefully, so the reason we did this is this thing had a clunk in the front end. It wasn't real bad, but when you'd go over bumps, it was kind of a click clunk, click clunk. And I can feel, I'm not sure if that was the top or the bottom, but that feels relatively tight. This one here is really loose. And the new one, I've never been able to do this. I could barely move it with two hands. That thing just flops around, so that was worn out. And I'm guessing, actually as I do that, I can basically feel it clunking in my hand. So I'm pretty sure that's going to get rid of that clunk in the front end. I asked them about these front struts and they said that they thought those were still fine. So that's good. We are going to have to put a set of shocks in the back at the repair shop. They said they noticed that the tires are starting to cup a little bit and they attribute that to worn shocks. This car only has about 62,000 miles on it, which I suppose probably means it's due for shocks. But it's an 11, so it's 8 going on 9 years old now. So, but anyway, pretty easy process. But here's how. In the description, I said how you can save some money and actually get some free tools. So basically, I took this into a local repair shop, and not a dealer, mind you, just one of the chain repair shops that I think is probably a little bit cheaper than the dealer. And for those front sway bar links, my quote total with parts and labor was $331 out the door with tax. So I just went down to O'Reilly and I picked up the set that I got was $94, so I was ahead of the game $237 doing this myself. And I'm shade tree mechanic, totally. I'm by no means a good mechanic, but I can turn a couple of wrenches. So the second side, when I don't have a camera running, I'm guessing I can probably do this in 15 or 20 minutes. So all told, back it in the garage, everything, this is maybe an hour job, and save $200 and almost $240. So good savings. And how I'm justifying getting free tools is I've been wanting to get a set of these the box end wrench, the ratcheting box end wrenches. So I just picked up a set of these Cobolts from Lowe's, and really good reviews. There's actually some mechanics online that said that they use them every day and they haven't broke them and they've held up just fine. So for the little bit of wrenching that I do, there's no reason that I need the high-end professional wrenches. So these were $60, normally $90, but I don't know, had a special or reduced price or something like that for $60. So as far as I'm concerned, those are free because I was going to save $237. I spent $60 on these. I got myself a new set of tools that I'll have for the rest of my life, and I'm still $177 ahead. So I'm not, usually if it's any kind of big repair job, I just let a shop do it. But sometimes for little stuff like this, and actually for these rear shocks, I didn't throw all the numbers together. But I can tell you that those shocks are going to cost me $100 to pick up at the auto parts store, and my quote to have them replaced was $620 before tax. So that's probably $630 or $640, and I can do it for $100. And those will take a little bit more time, but I'm thinking at worst a couple hours, probably not even that long, to save $500. So those are absolutely no-brainer. Doing those myself. So anyway, just thought I'd show you a little project. Not too big a one, but anytime I can save a couple $100 for less than an hour's work, I'm going to do it. Take care. Talk to you later. So just a little quick follow-up to this video. When I opened up this second sway bar link, I realized there's actually grease zerks in here. And as I look at these are actually greasable links, which I didn't even realize. These need to be threaded in. So I'm just adding this because, just so you know, and in case anybody noticed that when I was putting the first one on and saying, hey dummy, you're missing something. So there wasn't one in that first box. So I'm gonna need to go back to the auto parts store and grab some grease zerks for that first one that I installed. But anyway, just noticed that. So it looks like these just are gonna screw on there, and I'll slam some grease in them, and even actually better part than I thought they were. So anyway, take care. Bye. Hey, if you found that helpful, do me a favor and hit subscribe. Oh, and make sure you hit the bell icon so YouTube keeps you updated.